Hello, this is Nick, and today we'll be looking at Lotus Espirit Turbo Challenge by Sean Southern and Andrew Morris. The aim for this video is to talk for a whole season, so let's go for easy, just 7 races. Now, I'm not sure, while we set this up, I'm not sure if I can keep talking for this length of time. So it might start all getting a bit silly. This first race is in Italy. Course record held by Nigel Mansell. I think they couldn't afford the licence for all the proper drivers in Formula 1 at the time. Nigel Mansell, that would have been. I presume. This race is coming from Verona, Italy. The score points for each race in this 7-race series. The aim is to come in the top 10 each time, but overall win the championship. So I'm powering forward. I started off from 20th, now up to 11th. Try and avoid these other cars, which are all in white, which is a bit strange. Maybe they're all in the same team and I'm just one team in red, but we're all in the same car, a Lotus Espirit, but for some reason mine goes a lot quicker than them at the moment anyway. You see on the top left there's a bar gradually being filled up with red that indicates the lap. So just finished lap 1 of 4, currently in 2nd place. Now the Lotus series was to become a trilogy. This is the first one, of course. It was released in 1990. It's developed by Magnetic Fields and published by Gremlin Graphics. Come out of a number of platforms. This is the Amiga, of course, also on the Amstrad CPC, the Atari ST, which is very similar to this one, and 2 of the 8-bit computers as well, the Commodore 64 and the ZX Spectrum. Far superior on the 16-bit ones, of course, and this was somewhat of a revolution when it first came out, first of its kind, and the speed was considered to be very, very fast. And it is very smooth indeed, very forgiving around the corners, but there's definitely an arcade game. We're in first place here. We're even starting to lap races, so I don't think this is going to be too much of a problem. Now, you might see on the bottom of the screen is a car which 2 mechanics have been working on. Now, this is because potentially it's a 2-player game. If there is another joystick plugged in, you can race against a friend, but on 1 player it doesn't utilise the whole screen, just uses the top half, which is later corrected in the next 2 instalments of the trilogy, Lotus 2 and Lotus 3. Right, now we're on to Mexico. Track description there and hazards, shallow and steep hills and curves, a few obstacles to look out for. Start off in 20th place again, right at the back, because we won that race. This time there's 5 laps. It's all a question of weaving yourself through quickly. But yeah, easy mode is 7 races. I think medium is 10. Expert something like 15 maybe. But to upload 15 races, I think you'll get quite bored watching those. And it'll probably take me about 4 or 5 days to get them uploaded in the first place. Yeah, but Lotus 1, he was always in racing 19 other cars. Lotus 2, of course, it done away with that completely, and the whole thing was time trials, although the terrains were a bit more varied. I think it was in snowing and rain in there. And then Lotus 3 is a combination of the 2. You could either do races and time trials as well. But yeah, this game couldn't really be touched in its day. It took a while for other developers to catch up. Used to play this a lot with my friend Gary. Don't know if you know Gary. You probably don't, to be honest, unless you're Gary actually listens to this. But if you are Gary listening to this, I was much the better out of us 2, to be honest. I think once he might have been doing better, but he just reset the game straight away of my skills. Had 2 joysticks. One invariably worked better than the other one. If he was round my house, I'd always give him the worst joystick and pretend it's the best one. Sorry about that, Gary. But, you know, you do what you can to win at that age. Yes, I mean, I don't know how realistic this is with a normal Lotus. The engine sounds very computerised compared to what they would normally be. But yeah, I mean, you had a choice of about 5 different song tracks to play to accompany while you're going around. Couldn't pick your own, unfortunately. This we're doing engine sounds, which I think is a bit more realistic. 2 races done, won them both quite easily. Let's check out the leaderboard, which it gives you at the end of each one. Nigel Mainsail, of course. Carburettor, I think that was Michele Alboreto. Alan Phosphate, Alan Prost. Ricardo Pastry, I think that was Ricardo Patrese, who raced in Williams at the time. Next we're off to Iceland. Steeper hills and sharper bends, it says. Now obviously you can see it's a bit blue on ice. But in Lotus 2 you can actually see the snow coming down, and Lotus 3 as well. The cars are a bit more varied colours as well, as far as instead of being all white. But this is the first one, the one that broke the mould. All the trees are identical, you might have seen. There's one graphic stored somewhere. And all the signposts are the same as well. I think, what's this one? MF. Whatever that stands for. Mighty Fish. Who knows? Now I've got this set on automatic gears, so the computer can sort that out. There is an option to have manual gears, but it's not what I found too much of an advantage by having manual gears. I mean, not much speed differential. Automatic just lets you concentrate here, but yeah, on the 2-player though, it does get quite exciting there. Most of all, you got 2. You know when your opponent's there because you see a red car in the distance. Right, up into first straight away. Easy mode's not going to have too much resistance. The harder races you get more lane closures, rocks in the road, water that will slow you down. I think some of the later courses on this easy season will have a few more obstacles in. That's 2 laps done. I think it happens soon that we might need to make pit stops when we're out of fuel as well. Bit unfair because none of the computer cars have to make a pit stop, which one would have thought they would have had to, because we're all in Lotus Esprits here. There's no other cars involved. Mine seems to be going a lot quicker than theirs, and I seem to have a much smaller fuel tank. I mean, these lapped races I'm going past now, going past with amazing speed. He says that, and there isn't any. There's one. Yep, so I don't know what speed he's going, and him. But yeah, I mean, in the other modes, of course, especially hard, it's a bit frustrating, because you can be leading the championship, then a particular race don't finish in the top 10, and then the game is immediately over. No street lighting. It's all one way. So it's got red and white curbing, so one would have thought this is a racetrack. Though I don't think it's based on any real ones, but why put trees and road signs at either side of a racetrack? Right, yeah, pit stop. We were running out of fuel there, you might have heard the beeping. Right, just a splash and dash as they used to say. 1 lap to go. Should be fairly easy there. But yeah, good racing game. Number 1 for quite a while. Pity there isn't another player here so we can see the screen. But instead you get to see those 2 mechanics working on that car for a long time. I think they're looking as if they're busy, so they kept in a job. The sign below there says, well, I think it says no smoking, but you can't see the end of it. So it might say no smoking fish. Is in Finland, of course. That's what it said. No real way of knowing unless we come to the original writers here. Yes, the goal is to finish each race on the highest possible position, which I've done there first in all 3 races. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Other racers, James Hunt there, Nicky Lauda, that's Nicky Lauda. G. Harry Bootson, cherry boots and Belgian driver. Some sharp corners, rocks on the right side of the road. So the start of the obstacles in Spain, just 4 laps, but a slightly longer lap this time. Okay, so yeah, when this was originally rated by all the magazines out at the time, I think it scored over 90% on most of them. And Lotus 2 Esprit come out the very next year in 1991, which hopefully I'll upload at some point. If you're watching this a few weeks after it was uploaded, it might very well be up there already. I've recently seen the ZX Spectrum version. One wouldn't have thought it was possible to program it on an 8-bit machine with 48K, but they've made nothing like this, of course, but they've done a fairly good effort on it. Sound is somewhat to be desired, but the essence of the game is certainly there. Does this look like Spain? What are those mountains? The Alps or something? Pyrenees. My geography isn't the best. Oh, see, crashed into a sign and immediately takes you down to almost 0, or knocked a lot of the speed off. In the second and third instalments, Lotus 2 and Lotus 3, it was a bit more generous, so you just bounce off those and not lose quite so much speed. It was rather frustrating, definitely on harder version on Lotus 1. Shouldn't really drink and drive, but I've got some rather lovely Southern Comfort here, with cherry flavour, so my racing might not quite get as good later on. What are these signs we're passing? Passing too quick to know. Right, halfway round, in 6th place. So it's a bit more tricky this time. Don't know if we're going to have to make a pit stop at all. Right, there's 5th and 4th. See those rocks? That's what's been my downfall. But it's always going to be on the right side. These two cars are very close together. It makes it very hard to pass them. They generally... Yeah, got me again. They generally weave left and right, which they shouldn't really do if it was real life. But two together, they're covering the whole road. I'll have to be... I think I'm stuck in 6th here. So, right, let's try and get between them. Yep, right, that's done them. Just coming up to the end of the 3rd lap, you can see graded there on the top left on the bars. Will we need to make a pit stop here? I think we will. Yeah, I've got to judge how much fuel we need. Not much, just a splash and a dash. Oh, look, they're both past me again. I don't think we're going to win this race. Don't think at all. Yeah, also, in the sequels, there's more than one design of Lotus. You've got the Elise there, and another one which I can't quite remember. Yeah, see, we've got past one car, but these two are still together as if they're in a team. So we're up to 5th. If we get past these two. Right, there's another one. Right. Got them on the inside, 2nd. Yeah, I think we're going to end up 2nd place here. Can't win them all. Can you read that sign? Right, 2nd place. So should still be leading the championship. Whizzing through here. They're still working on that car at the bottom. I don't think they'll be seeing any racing today. Carburetto one, or Alboreto. Still in the lead, 75, place 48 to Alboreto, Carburetto. Oh, we're in Norwich, good old Norwich, in England. Let's see if it looks like Norwich. A few sharp bends, oil on road, lane closures. This is to be the trickiest track so far. Norwich. Yes, that's definitely Norwich, alright. The purple skies, the mountain ranges, the grassy hills, the racetrack. See, I've never been to Norwich, so it might be accurate. Does anyone out there know Norwich? What are the mountains like? Right. Is there roadworks there? That could be of Norwich. There's roadworks, but nothing going on. There's definitely road signs. 10th place. This is a bit trickier. Oil on the road. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 laps to do it in. Yeah, so I can't see any sign of any workmen. just the roadwork sign stopping us from getting there. Right, lap 1 in good old Norwich, England. Fuel's lasting okay, we're up to 160 miles an hour. Good road holding for 160 miles an hour. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a sky like this before. Maybe what were strange atmospheric conditions. Get him on the outside. Yeah, easing off the throttle. If I don't win the easy championship, I think I should give up, really. Good stuff. Yeah, magnetic fields. I think they've done a number of racing games teamed up. Well, it's published by Gremlin Graphics, of course. I've never seen the Commodore 64 version. Have you ever played that, or did you have it? What was it like to play? Was it comparable to this? Equally, I haven't seen the Amstrad CPC version. Presumably, the Atari ST is pretty similar, because those two are on a par with each other. I'd like to say the Amiga is better out of the two, but I never really saw the Atari. So people who had an Atari tended to say that that was better, and vice versa, of course. A bit like the Xbox and PlayStation wars of today. Right, 2 laps to go, we're in first place. Lapping cars, I don't think anyone's going to get by now. Yeah, but of course I own Lotus 2 and Lotus 3, so I'll be putting them on. Lotus 3, in fact, had a course editor on it as well. So a number of different types of track. You've got snow, sand, mud, forest, night stages, and the randomizer worked that you can design it yourself, working on the percentage of the curves and straights and gradient, or you could just type in a random word and a difficulty number, and it would generate the track like that. So I could type in Idiot 52, and that would probably be a track for all time, or your own surname. But we've got this run. Yes, the mountains of Norwich. I'm going to have to Google that. To my knowledge, there's no mountains in Norwich. But quite often with these things, I'm wrong, or they've recently imported some to increase tourism. Could be the case. Could be the case, couldn't it? Another win. Another win. Where are we in the championship now, then? First, Alan Phosphate was second there. Right, 35 points clear of Alan Prost. Long and downhill sections, barriers in the road. We're in Sweden, in a place called Alkenborg. Oh, very, very similar skies to Norwich. Mountains look a bit more serious. Sweden, of course, is another country I haven't gone to. But I trust that the makers of the game went out there specially and pulled out all the stops to make this game as accurate as possible. Look at that. That's bad gameplay by me. Hit a car right on the uprise, and these cars got terrible acceleration in this game uphill. So that's hampered me. Oh look. Right, this is the toughest track yet. Road closures each side. Turbo load, what's that? Well, that slowed us down as well, so we're stuck into 16th place after half a lap. Don't say we're going to go out after all the good work. Might have to concentrate a bit here. Shouldn't have drunk too much of the Cherry Southern Comfort. I am a lightweight, of course. Doesn't take that much. Right, to 12. We've only got to come in the top 10. Much better we avoided those road closures, barriers. I think they're on the other side of the road this time, so whip across. 10th. Right, as long as we stay in this position, we'll qualify for the next race. But we're on lap 2 of 6, is it? So we're definitely going to have to make a pit stop. The other car sneakily don't. I'd love a cockpit view on this. Look at the speed of it going along. Good. That was a good move. Better slow down here. Right, 7th, 6th. Yeah, this is safe. Slow down, slow down. What I would have liked in this game is although all the cars are white, it would have been nice to see maybe over the top there, see, as they do in the Formula 1 games, the modern ones, who was actually in each one, so we knew who we were racing against. All a bit random in the final bit. You notice here as well, the speed that I overtook second place, which was quite a few laps ago now. When we get the final times, I bet you he's only about 2 seconds behind me. And really, we're probably gonna. I haven't been counting these cars as we're going past, but we must have lapped quite a few people. Not sure if we've lapped the whole field. There's also another game, I think, by the same outfit that did Supercars 2 and Supercars 1, of course. It's over the top racing. Say, you're viewing it from over the top. And all the sounds are the same, so they took it directly from this game. A few pretenders to it as well, a few competitions. A Jaguar racing game. So I'll try and upload that as well, so you can compare the two. I haven't got too much knowledge of playing it, but it plays in a very similar fashion. Once one game's successful, of course, others try and extract what made it popular and be in there as well. 1 lap to go, final lap. Yeah, but we've seen a lot of the world, haven't we? We've seen Spain, Sweden, of course, Norwich. That'd be a good cruise to go on. Yeah, but look at this skill through all of them. I don't mind saying myself. Okay, almost there. Bing. So hopefully it hasn't been too boring, but I've included a few of the facts. Just pretend we're at the pub having a chat. You're not saying much. I think you must be quite shy. Another win. 115, 70, Alan Phosphate in second. Now we whiz over to China. Ayrton Sendup. Don't know who that's trying to be. What would the modern day ones be like? Sebastian Vettel, Mark Webfleet perhaps. Lewis Camelbum. Can we get away with that? Nico Iceberg. I'll leave you to chip in with some other modern day names changed. Write them underneath perhaps while you're watching this. Or maybe you can see the advert. Oh, look at that. I didn't know this, but if you drive through water in a high performance sports car, it slows you down by about 10 miles an hour. There's some. Yes. And it's very blue. It's very blue, this water. As you know, if you pour yourself a cup of water from the tap, look at it, it would be bright blue. You shouldn't analyse this game too much. It's on the Commodore Amiga. Was in the 80s. Got a lot of fun out of it. And arguably, one might say that they're more pick-up and playable than the games of today. A lot more straightforward, that's the one thing. I don't think Tomb Raider ever came out on the Amiga. I think that first started on the PlayStation 1. But very limited areas, so you can't get lost. And with the new generation consoles today, you can walk miles away from where you're supposed to be. I've only just noticed how many laps we got to do here. We're in 7th place. Oh look, he sneaked up on me. We're up in 7th place. We should win, I would have thought, with this amount of laps. We're on lap 3. I think I've learned it now, so it's like there's not too much to be worried about apart from those puddles, it looks, with their amazing magical car slowing abilities. 4 laps to go. Definitely going to need to make a pit stop here. And only in 6th place. How far in front is 5th? There he is. That's not 5th and 4th. Let's see. Slowed right down there. 100 miles an hour going uphill. Yeah, but as you notice there, regardless of we're going up or downhill, the opponent's car seems to get the same speed. And they're always weaving from left to right, right to left. They're not on any racing line. If this was a real race, I think they'd get a penalty. You're only allowed to weave once into the corner. I think isn't that the rule? Yeah, he's everywhere. Yeah, bashed. Now that sign, I think it says Big Truck something. Big Truck Show. Big Truck Show. Now the only people that are going to see those signs is people on the racetrack. It probably would have been cheaper just to give us a flyer at the start of the race. There's a big truck show going on if you want to go down there. What's there then? Well, there's like big trucks really. Oh right. No, I'm more into my Lotus racing. How far we got to go? So after this to that, one more lap. Then we're off probably to the big truck show if you want to come. I don't know how long it goes on for. 6 years, I think. Final lap. Let's do a quick pit stop. Be on the safe side. I haven't been counting what race this is. I know we had to do 7, didn't we? I say we, it keeps you involved, but I'm doing all the work here. You can be like my pit crew. As I say, there's no chance I'll be uploading expert mode here. Too many races, and my upload speed on the internet is so slow. It's going to take me at least a fortnight to upload it. That's an exaggeration, but it's going to take a very long time anyway. That is for sure. But no smoking fish, remember? As they say down in the bottom screen, or would do it as wide enough. Widescreen of today. He wins again. Yeah, I've won! Hooray! Congratulations, you won the easy level. Now practice is over. The racing starts in earnest with a medium level, held over 10 tough courses. Well, I don't think we're going to do those. So I wish you goodbye. Goodbye!